I found out about the affair on a Sunday afternoon, in the quietest way possible. No loud confessions, no dramatic scenes. Just a faint reflection on her phone screen. His name flashing in the glass of our living room window while she smiled down at the message. Ethan. My wife's co-worker. Married. Father of 2. I stood in the hallway, holding a basket of laundry, frozen in that dull domestic moment that suddenly split my world in two. The air smelled like fabric softener and betrayal. She looked up when I walked in, her thumb lingering over the delete button. I pretended not to see it, just like I had pretended not to notice the perfume she never used to wear, or the late team dinners that stretched past midnight. That night, she asked for an open marriage. She said it like it was some enlightened evolution of love. We've been married 8 years, Liam. People change. Maybe it's time we stop pretending monogamy is natural. Her tone was calm, rehearsed. She'd clearly thought about this for a while. I wanted to scream, to ask how long she'd been sleeping with him. Instead, I heard myself saying, "You want to see other people? I just want freedom," she replied. For both of us. Her words hung there, polished and hollow, like something stolen from a podcast. I stared at her, the woman who used to trace circles on my back while we fell asleep. Now she was drawing invisible lines between us. My chest ached with something far deeper than anger. It was humiliation. The quiet, gnawing kind that makes you question your own worth. I didn't say yes. But I didn't say no either. For the next 2 weeks, I watched her drift further away, laughing at texts she'd never show me, dressing a little nicer for work, wearing the same nervous excitement she once had for me. Then, one night I decided I wouldn't just watch anymore. When she said she was going out for drinks with co-workers, I told her I had plans too. She didn't ask what kind. I spent the evening finding her lover's wife. Her name was Julia. It didn't take long. Social media makes secrets fragile. Her profile was public. Family photos, school events, weekend trips. She looked kind. The kind of woman who believed her husband was loyal. My hand trembled as I typed. "Hi Julia. Think we need to talk." We met 3 days later at a quiet cafe. She arrived clutching her phone, eyes cautious but curious. I recognized that look. It was the same one I'd worn in the mirror for weeks. When I told her everything, she didn't cry. She just went very still. Like she'd been holding her breath for years and finally realized why. After a long silence, she said, "I thought I was paranoid. He's been distant. Thank you for being honest." I nodded, unsure what honesty was worth anymore. Then an idea began forming, terrible and perfect. "Julia," I said slowly, "my wife wants an open marriage. She doesn't know I know about him. What if we give them exactly what they asked for?" Her eyes narrowed. "What do you mean?" I smiled, though it hurt to do it. "Dinner. Our house. You and me. And them." When she realized what I was suggesting, a flicker of shock crossed her face, followed by something darker, resolve. "Let's do it," she whispered. The following Friday, I set the table with the same care I used to when I wanted to make my wife smile. Candles, wine, slow music. She came home, hair done, perfume heavy. When she saw the extra plates, her brows knit together. "Expecting company?" she asked, slipping her purse onto the chair. "Yeah," I said, pouring wine. "Thought we could use some openness." Her lips parted just as the doorbell rang. Julia walked in, composed and elegant, her expression unreadable. Behind her came Ethan, his face draining of color the second he saw me. The silence was thunderous. My wife's breath hitched. Ethan's eyes darted between us like a trapped animal. "Please," I said, gesturing toward the table. "Let's eat." No one moved for a long time. Eventually, Julia broke the tension by sitting down. "I'm starving," she said softly, almost kindly. The dinner was surreal, for people pretending not to be dying inside. Forks scraped against plates. Glasses clinked. My wife's hand trembled as she reached for her drink. "So," I said finally, turning to Ethan, "how's work? I hear late nights can get intense." He didn't answer. My wife set her glass down too hard, wine sloshing over the rim. Julia's voice was calm but sharp. Funny, I always wondered why you smelled like her perfume when you came home. Ethan flinched. My wife's eyes darted toward me, pleading, but I held her gaze. For once, I didn't look away. The truth spilled out in fragments, stammered excuses, overlapping guilt. By the end, no one had any lies left. Julia stood first. "Thank you for dinner," she said, looking at me. "You're braver than I am." Then she turned to Ethan. "We'll discuss custody later." After they left, my wife and I sat in the dim light, the air thick with everything unsaid. She whispered, "Why would you do that to me?" "Because," I said quietly, "you wanted honesty. And I thought we should all be honest, together." Her face crumpled, tears streaming down, but I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no triumph. Just an empty ache where love used to live. She moved out a week later. Sometimes I still see her at the grocery store, standing in front of the wine aisle, staring at the bottles like she's searching for a different version of her life. And maybe I am too. Because the truth is, I didn't invite her lover's wife out of revenge. I did it to end the illusion. To make sure the next time I sit across from someone, there won't be anything left to hide. And in a way, that's the cruelest kind of closure there is.